Hey everybody, it's Rob here. Today we're going to be talking about the Thorns Barbarian. You can see I'm on the live server because the PTR has already ended. But there's been a lot of people done a lot of testing of the Thorns Barb, and I wanted to get into like what was found out and a lot of details here. So as you guys can see here, like this is not the PTR, this is just a live server, and we already have a crazy amount of life. And there are several mechanics in the game, such as Challenging Shout here, that actually scale your damage based on your life. So we already have 130k here with our buffs up, and on the PTR I've seen people running around at more than 200,000 max life, and this is just going to give you more and more thorns with Challenging Shout and with your Outburst passive here, both basically scaling your thorns with your life. So you have like a double scaling, you have a Challenging Shout scaling, and you have the Outburst life scaling, giving you more thorns damage the more life you have. And also, as you know, on the PTR, you can be masterworking your grandfather, for example, to have 10k life. So I think it's going to be very easy to like hit more than 200k life, especially with a masterwork Doombringer or some of these other aspects. And there is also a new aspect here completely that allows us to get... Thank you, Squeezy. That allows us to get more thorns as a multiplier while we are fortified. You guys can see here, this one can roll on 6 items. You can get 11 thorns while fortified before the updates of Masterworking. So this is another like 2.5x damage, and we can actually reach in the hundreds of thousands of base thorn and then doing millions of damage. So I wanted to show you guys this video here. There's been a Chinese player, his very fitting name, Do Not Hit Me on YouTube. Actually give a like. I'm going to subscribe to this guy as well. This has just been linked because I had no time to test the Thorns Barb yet on the PTR. We were testing now on live. There was just so much limited time. But let me just show you here how he is running through the rifts here. So yeah, he has uploaded multiple of them, and you guys can see here, like he just goes in. He uses his Steel Grasp and Frenzy to keep his buffs up, and you guys can see the crazy damage that he does here. Whenever an enemy hits him, here, boom, you can see like there's like 30 million, 20 million, like insane numbers here that he's hitting for. And just with thorns, basically. And this is the hardest content in the game. The quality is not that good. I'm going to link this footage in the description, so check out Do Not Hit Me. Best name for Thorns Barb. And yeah, you just like, you know, plop, kills all the monsters. 30 million damage here, and just easily blasting and blitzing through the hardest content. And it actually also looks to be very strong against the boss. I'm not so sure how crazy optimized he was here, but you also have the Hectic, and your shouts have basically like no cooldown when you're using Hectic. You guys can see here, like he just goes in and plop, yeah, 30 million damage there, 40 million, like it's insane. And you're gonna run to the boss. It's Korean, okay, not Chinese. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hard for me to tell them apart as native German. So yeah, he's been blasting this. He's actually playing Metamorphosis in this run. And now here, with a Lethal Shrine, your Thorns can actually crit. So watch these numbers here. So boom, that's a 50 million damage with Thorns. And I think here, like there, you can see 63 million damage with Thorn Sticks. So when you have a Lethal Shrine, your Thorns now also can crit. Normally your Thorns cannot crit, so it doesn't scale with crit chance. Only when you have a Lethal Shrine is it guaranteed to crit. And yeah, this looks insane, and I've already been doing many Thorns videos before. It's like a perfect chill build because, you know, generally you want to scale high life and high damage reduction to just have even more Thorns damage. So you're like a very tanky build, and you basically rely on the monsters hitting you, and once they're hitting you, they are dying. And now you guys can see here the boss fight is also very fast. It's a 199, 200 pit boss. You can see here whenever he attacks, boom, there you go, like when this poison procs. I think also you can see it here when his ground effect procs. Like watch this, like there's a lot of new mechanics to the Thorns. Like you see when this thing procs, boom, like he's losing like a big chunk of his health. He actually hits him for, what was the number? Yeah, they're 80 million life, 80 million Thorns. You see this? This is like one hit right there. 90 million just with this poison attack. So there's like different attacks doing different amount of Thorns damage basically. Okay, that's pretty much the playtime. You guys can see here when he summons the Lilith, I think it's Lilith, and he gets hit by the Lilith wave, the boss insta-dies. Okay, here, like it might be hard to see. So you guys can see here, like he's hitting for 10 million, and then Lilith does the wave, And I think the wave triggers a bit early. You can see this is the wave animation. It triggers a bit early, and it triggers a 200 million hit. 200 million. Like just the Lilith wave, like this slam. So boom. And that's how the boss just sayonara. Watch it again. The end is just so good. When the Lilith slams down, bam. 200 million dead. So yeah, it's a pretty pork build. Again, I'm gonna be linking this in the description. It's pretty strong and lots of fun to play. I think he uploaded like several videos actually of this. Like, definitely check out Do Not Hit Me. Like he's been blasting these dungeons here just with his Thorns Barb, basically like cruising through, killing everything. And but yeah, okay, here he had artillery shrine for the boss. But yeah, you can see like about 2-minute marks, and he just like blasts everything down. Super fun build. I've made a planner here as well that I'm gonna be linking. There's like 2 different ones, but this is the one that I have build right now on the live server that has this like crazy amount of life, and you're basically playing Frenzy and rocking Frenzy, and then you're like pulling the enemies in. And you guys can see here like the life pool is already insane, and we're only getting more life because now our weapons can roll life and we can masterwork the life. So I'm kind of expecting, we made some calculations that I will go over here in a bit as well, that we will then showcase you how much Thorns it's actually gonna be. So for now, I'm going to show you this planner. So this is like kind of what we had in mind. Like this is just one Uber unique right now. Obviously, you can also add Grandfather, but you don't really have to. Because I think then, like right now, Grandfather is insane for life. But with the new system, like every weapon can have life on it. So you don't even need a Grandfather to have it. So we are rocking here Aspect of Might. And you can see you can roll Challenging Shout cooldown reduction. The Challenging Shout is one of the scalar for your Thorns. And you can also roll this Thorns while Fortify. That is a separate multiplier to your Thorns whenever you are fully fortified. I mean, whenever your Fortify is higher than your life. Or at the same, basically. I'll be higher, it's the same. Okay, so then we're rocking Juggernaut here for armor, Exploiters. And there's a decision you need to make. Like, you can either go for Challenging Shout cooldown reduction, or you go for Imposing Presence, and this is also an insane passive. It could look like this as well, either Challenging Shout or Imposing Presence, because we have Hectic and we might be fine. This needs to be tested. Because Imposing Presence is this passive here on Barb that gives you 6% multiplicative life per point, and you can have this, I think, on 4 aspects. So you will get another 4 times 6 life, which is, you know, like another 24x your life pool. And these are all separate multipliers. So if you already have, you know, 131k, and you get another like 24x, you know, we're talking about, you know, getting 260k life. And then you have a bunch of more base life, and it's just going to be insane, basically. And then also your rubies, instead of being 4%, they're going to be, I think it's 8 or 9% on the PTR or on the next patch. So yeah, the life is going to go crazy. We're rocking Exploiters here, Iron Blood, Ghost Walker. I mean, there's like a lot of things you can search around, but the key parts are the Needle Flare aspect, the Death Wish aspect, which gives you more Thorns when you Berserk, Elements as a generic multiplier, Hectic on the Amulet, Bolt's Chieftain to reduce your shout cooldown, and then with Hectic and your Frenzy, which attacks very, very fast, you will reset your Hectic, no problem. Then Doombringer, you can play it, but it's like even more life, but you're not going to have it at the start, and it's still going to be a good setup. And then, you know, Calm here for just a good multiplier. Skill tree is looking like this, so you just max Frenzy. I prefer the DR, because DR is very hard to get now. And it gives you a lot of DR. The Amulet is like kind of useless, because again, you can't masterwork the Thorns or the Imposing Presence on it. It gives you some extra stacks and some extra attack speed, but like, I do not recommend Battle Trance. I think the Amulet is actually pretty trash, this one. So it's a bit unfortunate that this Amulet is so bad, but like we just stick with Hectic on our Amulet and reduce our cooldowns with our Frenzy that attacks very fast and also gives us damage reduction. Then here, Imposing Presence, Vigor for DR, Strategic Rallying Cry, this gives us our Fortify, so just whenever we hit, and we hit a lot or we get hit, we get Fortify, very easy. We need to keep this Fortify up for our new Wild Fortify bonuses here. So pretty insane. Next, we're rocking Challenging Shout, obviously, with Strategic Challenging Shout, then 3 in Outburst, and 3 in Toughest Nails. This is adding bleed to everything, so we can benefit from bleed damage reduction, bleed damage multipliers. And this one just gives us another Thorns scaling with our life. I will go into details at the end here. Then we have Warcry here. This gives us the Berserking, and again, we reset it pretty easy. We have another source of Berserking, which is the Steel Grasp here later. So this is how we keep our permanent Berserking, because for our Death Wish, we want to be Berserking at all times, and it's very easy to keep up. Then we have some additional Shout stuff, Aggressive Resistance, Slaying Strike, Pit Fighter for the close damage, then the Steel Grasp Max, Counter Offensive, and actually down here is still like a bit of weird stuff. So we have Wrath the Berserk. You can also play Call of the Ancients if you like, but you don't really have to. Like, it can be played. It gives you 20 attack speed and 20 damage, while Wrath the Berserk base gives you 25 damage and some movement speed. So yeah, then we can play Concussion and Wallop, because one of our weapons here, it should be a mace, so you can benefit from that. Mastery is still 200x for vulnerable targets. Again, we keep stuff vulnerable with our enhanced Steel Grasp. And then finally we have the Unconstrained, and these 3 points, I guess we want Raid Leader for healing, because we're going to be healing percent based of our life, which is going to be insane, because we have like 200k life. So 1% of that means we're just going to heal for like, 6k life. 3% of that is going to heal for like 6k life per second or something. It's going to be insane. And then Paragon, like we just in this node here, we went like full life. We went like life everywhere. There's another life node here you can grab if you have some extra stats. You can leave some away. Then obviously the Ravage glyph here. So we have Ire, we have Ambidextrous, because we're going to be dual wielding with Frenzy. We have Ravage. Then just here like all the big multipliers for life. Martial, Blood Rage, even more life up here. And then just all the life nodes. Here's life, and then we have Undaunted for Fortify and extra damage reduction. So it's pretty cool. I've seen this on the PTR, like this was like a guy from China or Korea here that had like his 155k life, and I'm not sure like how optimized he was. So again, you can, I think, very easily, like he had no Grandfather, no Doombringer, and the Doombringer, if we're looking at the math here for a Doombringer, it has 41.4 base. You can just take 41.4 and roughly times 2.5x if you masterwork it, and it lowers the greater affix. So you're gonna have like another like more than double life just from your Doombringer alone. So we'll probably be seeing life in the 300,000s. It's gonna be pretty insane, and it's gonna scale your Thorns damage as follows. So these are your main scalers. Gonna get a bit technical here. So we have Outburst and we have Strategic Challenging Shout. And both of them, again, scale your Thorns based on your life. So you can roughly say here, this one adds 159 Thorns for 796 bonus life. So if you divide 796 by 159, you get a ratio of 1 to 5. So, which basically means about 20% of your life becomes Thorns, right? So if you have, like 1,000 life, you get 200 Thorns. This is basically what it means. It's 20%, and Challenging Shout is 30%. So this basically means, in total, if you have 100k life, you're getting about 50% of that in Thorns. So if you have 100k life, you're roughly getting 50k Thorns total out of these passives. Then you have a bit of a base line of life. We do the calculation here. You also have the Death Wish. That is like you can't masterwork, it's always 11k. It's this aspect here. I don't know, not sure actually if the number changed. But here you see, this is not on a 925 weapon, but I think this rolls to, if you have a perfect one, it rolls like 11,000 something on the PTR. And then we have the Razor Plate, and with Razor Plate, this is the Thorns Armor. There was a bug on the PTR where you could not master, you could masterwork it, but it wouldn't increase the Thorns. You see here, the base is 18,960. And there is a known issue here on the PTR that it's intended that you can masterwork this. So right now, the Razor Plate chest ammo does not masterwork properly. So if you clicked it on the PTR, nothing happened. But if you're clicking it now on the PTR, like when the server goes live, we're expecting this to work, and you can greater affix this and masterwork it. And then it gets a big multiplier. I think it's about 2.7x, because you get 50% plus 120 total. So you're like looking at around 51k Thorns on top of this. So yeah, you guys can kind of see here like where it's going. Like we're gonna get a lot of Thorns damage, and we need to compare this Thorns damage that we're getting to like the average weapon here. And like, you know, the average weapon has about like 3,600 to 5,400. This is even with the plus 25. So around 4.5k DPS. And our Thorns, like once we scale it properly, you guys can see here, once I press my challenging shot, we have 23k. So once I press my buttons, it already goes to 67k, which is, I think, roughly what I calculated here with my current 131k life, plus some base. Like we have 68k. I think there was some rounding errors. But yeah, basically this is our like Thorns right now. And compared to our weapon, this is already 90,000-ish. It's already like, you know, 15 times 100% weapon damage. So you could already say we are doing 1,500% weapon damage. Or probably is 1,600% because the base counts as well. So this is like our current Thorns. And then after the patch, it gets tremendously buffed. Because first of all, our current life goes up. And I'm not exactly sure how much. I just estimated very conservatively that we're going to have 200k life. And I think, you know, this is without any Uber Uniques, you can already have like in the 155k range. So it's going to get way more. Like I think like realistically, we will be able to put like 300k here. And then you guys can see here how much the final Thorns damage, 500,000 looks. But let's just be very conservative. Let's say 200k. I think that's going to be, you know, very easy to reach, like without, you know, going out of your way and finding a Doombringer or finding a Grandfather or a Shaco or anything. So 200k life. And that means like there's a base life, so that means you have 192k bonus life. That means from Outburst we're getting this, and from Challenging Shot we're getting this. And then the base, if we take the Razor Plate, the Death Wish, and what we kind of have from 925, I think is the base of the Outburst passive. Yeah, there you go. So in total, we are getting around 160k Thorns, and then now comes the new multipliers, like the Toughest Nails is a 1.09. We don't know exactly like if they stack multiplicatively or if they stack additively, but we're just assuming multiplicative scaling because that's usually how it works. Because well, actually it says plus here. We don't actually know, but like it's not going to change much if you multiply by 1.09 or if you add 1.09 within this multiplier. It's gonna be changing like a little bit, basically like times 3 or something. So. Like worst case, we're gonna have like 400 something, like a bit less basically. Did I do the math right? Yeah. So yeah, the damage goes crazy. And then we're adding this Thorns while Fortify. And this is the new stat that we have again in the planner here, which is the second thing here that you see. Thorns while Fortify, Thorn Body. And you can also masterwork these effects for even greater multiplier. So we're getting about 6 items times 11, which is the base, times 2.2 if you masterwork them all, plus 1. So you're getting like a 2.4x multiplier. And in the end, it looks like we're going to be dealing somewhere in the 400,000 base damage with our Thorns. And this is about 4 times stronger than what it is right now, because we are getting more life and we are getting this new multiplier from Thorns while Fortified that we don't have in the current live game. So I'm really happy to finally see this Thorns Barb come up a lot from what it used to be, because people always liked Thorns Barb and it was never really like, you know, a viable build. It's still not going to be, you know, a very fast paced build. It's going to be a decent speed, I think, but it's not going to be like the ultra speed, because you always rely on monsters hitting you. But if you're already having this like, you know, 400k Thorns base, and then you guys can see, like, this was not the optimized setup. It's like hitting for... There was also some DR guys. It was not this video here. You guys can see it's hitting for like lots of damage. Like here, 13, 15 million, depending again on how many like damage and attacks are coming towards you. But it's definitely hitting in the double-digit million. And yeah, on these bosses here, it's even hitting in the 3-digit millions. So this looks to be a pretty strong build. There you guys can see here again the 200 million hit up here. So yeah, it's looking pretty insane. And the numbers kind of add up if you have like a 400,000 base. And this guy probably had a bit less because he had like this 155k life. So he had like 155k. So he had like a 300k Thorns base. So yeah, there's a lot of potential here to min-max this further. I'll definitely be checking out this build once the patch goes live. Obviously, like, I didn't have time to test all this on the PTR. So this is like all a lot of theory, and it's all obviously subject to change. I just wanted to share this with you because many people asked me, like, what do you think about Thorns? Have you seen the Thorns videos? And yeah, we've been looking at it. We've been crunching some basic numbers, and it looks about 4 times stronger than what you can play on live right now. And even on live, it's already, like, you know, pretty decent with the way the Thorns can work, especially if we work in like a lot. We can already get 100k on the live server. And yeah, it's looking pretty strong. I'm looking forward to be testing out this build. And again, big shout out to Do Not Hit Me, GG Thorns Barb. We're gonna have, I'm sure, a lot of fun here in the game. And yeah, let me guys know what you think in the comments. Finally, like a full AFK build that just kills everything. I'm looking forward to it, man. And yeah, keep smashing. Let's go. Hope you guys enjoyed. GG. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.